was the practice overall? Would you say?
I mean, we're in good spirits. Just trying to have fun every single day, so I feel like it was a good practice.
Last night, what's the biggest takeaway that you take from that game? Do you flush it? Do you digest it? What's the way you approach it?
Honestly, go over the film. We played well on offense. It was a good game offensively. It's a game. If we played even average defensively, I feel like we have a good chance of winning. So.
Is there anything that stood out to you about that defense watching that film back?
Just a lot of second chance points, a lot of fast break points. We gave up a lot of controllables, so just something that honestly is a learning lesson for us.
What's most encouraging is controllables?
Yeah. We put in a lot of effort, but it's just stuff that we made mistakes on and stuff that we kind of just did ourselves. So it's just a learning lesson.
You've seen tough defensive efforts this season already, but where did that one just kind of place in I know it's the most recent one, so it may not matter, but just from some awful things that you've seen defensively, where did that one rank, I guess?
I don't think it was our worst one since I've been in Sacramento, but obviously they're a team that shoots a lot of threes, and they hit a lot of threes yesterday, so the more that we can learn from that and learn just from that game, I feel like the better we'll be.
Keegan, Jrue Holiday said their intentions were to come in here to run because they know that you guys are a running team. Were you guys kind of surprised the way they came out like that? Of course, with the shooting was kind of hot, but 30 fast break points, that was incredible.
No, I weren't surprised. They're top of the East for a reason. They're a team that can play any sort of style. A lot of great shooters around their primary players. So we knew that was the point of emphasis for them, and they did a good job at that.
It's a unique opportunity having the Celtics who are top in the East, and then a couple days later you have the top in the West with the T-Wolves. How do you just look at this stretch for you guys in terms of maybe where you are in your season?
It's a good stretch for us, especially in December. A stretch that, whether good or bad, we can learn from. So just take the positives from that and just learn from each game that we have left before the holiday.
Out of those 10 games you guys have lost, 6 of them are like absolute blowout losses. Is there something that's a theme that you notice in some of those games?
Just letting the game get out of hand. I feel like there's not much to it other than that. Just trying to stay competitive as much. If we get down by 10, just trying to stay in it, keep our minds in it.
I was wondering, have you gotten your Secret Santa gift yet? I know that's on Sunday.
Yeah, I got it. I try to be proactive about it, so I got mine a little early.
Do you think De'Aaron and Malik have gotten theirs already?
I think it'll probably be last minute.
Thanks, Keegan.
Sorry.
You good, man? Did you get your Christmas gift yet?
My Christmas gift?
The Secret Santa gift that you're supposed to be getting?
No, we're doing it on Christmas Eve.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice. Do you have something in mind though already?
Oh, you were asking have I bought mine yet?
Yeah,
oh, I haven't. I usually do like jewelry, like some type of bracelet or something. Easiest thing for me to get. So.
Keon was the only person that came out and spoke with us yesterday after the game. I guess you guys had to absorb some type of things. What went into that decision? You guys just didn't want to talk, or?
I didn't talk to anybody. It was my birthday. I went home. No. Game was done. We got blown out. Not thinking about it anymore. I went and had a birthday dinner. That's all it was for me. I didn't talk to anybody about not doing media.
How disappointing was that result? Obviously, you've seen some tough defensive games this season already, but that one looked pretty tough.
Yeah, obviously that's best 3-point shooting team in the league. You have to just be able to run those guys off. Just try to make it hard for them. Obviously, they are a team that makes tough shots. At the end of the day, you have to try to make it difficult. And I think at the beginning of the game, we were able to force turnovers and get out, but we weren't able to sustain that. And they got offensive rebounds and just being able to throw it back out and get a 3 is definitely just something that's backbreaking. So you want to try to limit those as much as possible.
You don't really subscribe to barometer type games, right? Like
I have no idea what that means.
Like kind of measuring stick or see where you guys are in terms, because like you're going to get the league's top 2 teams, West and East, in this next stretch of 3 games. Really, and it comes at a time when you guys have won 5 of 6. Do you ever look at it and go, okay, this is kind of a way to measure where we're at right now?
Sometimes, but sometimes you have good games. I mean, Phoenix has lost to Portland, who people don't think is a good team, and Phoenix is supposed to be a contender, and like those things happen. Like throughout the course of the year, any given team can beat you on any given night, and people are surprised. And sometimes one of the worst teams beat one of the best teams in the league in the middle of the season, but. That's the way that basketball goes. You're not going to come out and play well every single night, and a team that's not good isn't going to come out and play bad every single night. So those things happen.
Darren, in those 10 losses, 6 of them are just like blowouts. Just is there a trend that you see at all in terms of that?
We're pretty good at close games, I guess.
Suppose that.
Yeah,
okay.
take something good away.
And then Mike said last night for you guys, hey, someone's got to say something. Like, he can bark all he wants on the sideline, like it's got to come from within the team. Do you possibly just take that and say, hey, I got to do something and talk to these guys?
I think we have to be better as individual defenders. Regardless of how good your team is, if guys are continuing to break you down and you're in rotation the whole game, then you're not going to have a good defense. So for us, we have to take pride in being able to guard the ball as an individual.
How important is it to
everything else happens after?
Individually, like you're obviously having the best career defensive year individually. How do you see your progression from being a young player and how you got better defensively?
Just being locked in more. I think I've always had the tools to be able to guard whoever I'm standing in front of. So just trying to be locked in as long as I can.
There's 30 fast break points for the Southern last night, on the second night of the back-to-back for them. Just what do you see there that you guys need to do?
I mean, we have to clean up our turnovers. I think most of our turnovers were live ball turnovers, and they were able to get out. So it's a lot easier to have fast break points whenever you're, forcing turnovers and just being able to get out in transition. So we have to be able to take care of the ball better.
we got a back-to-back coming up? What are your thoughts about that? Trying to get this, and compared to the issues that y'all had early in the season, but you have an opportunity on your own floor to get these 2 games.
No thoughts about it. I mean, we're playing 2 good teams. You go out there and you try to do what you practice. So back-to-backs are part of the game. We have back-to-backs every single year. So there's no different thought about it. We just have to be better.
You've had a lot of stuff off the court where you're doing some good in this community. Some of the ones we're not able to go to, but can you at least, from your perspective, share some of the things that you're doing off the floor this season?
Yeah, for us, like for Thanksgiving, we just helped feed a couple families. And then we actually have something today that we're doing. We're just really just giving back. We had people write down like their wish list, what do they want, what kids want, what type of toys they want, what type of clothes they want, and we're just trying to fulfill that as much as possible. I think we're doing 22 families today.
Okay.
So this is just me, like my foundation. So after this, got some stuff to do, and I'll have a busy day today.
Is that process with you and Rasay to figure out who to donate to, or how do you guys?
Yeah, so like my barber actually helps me because he cuts out of South Sac, so obviously he's invested in the community as well. So he helps us kind of try to pick what families to really try to get back to. We try to do it as much as possible. Say and I actually give back to the ushers here as well. So I mean, we've been here for so long, and everybody pours into us, and we just want to pour back into the community.
Thanks, everyone.
Cool.
Appreciate it.
Have a good
Thanks,
day,
buddy.
all right?
What's that hat? What's the logo?
DNVR. So it's based out of Denver.
DNVR. It's what type of company is it?
It's a media
One
company.
they can't spell.
Yeah. Thank you.
Sorry, buddy.
There you go. They cover the Nuggets, they cover the Avalanche. They're like a podcasting type of company, but it's not like formal TV or anything like that. It's just like it's a fun community to be a part of. And they got a dope hat, so I got one. So they're great.
That's pretty cool.
Thank you. Appreciate that. Mike.
So, Coach Brown, I haven't read a lot of the reports though, but when you mentioned going good from great, that's a process, isn't it?
For sure, yeah.
And in terms of learning from your mistakes too, could you kind of elaborate on that too, as far as when you're going through this process?
Anytime you're trying to take that step, the funnest way to learn is when you win. But the reality of it is the best way to learn is to experience heartbreak, failure, however you want to call it, and so you can take that moment and really feel how it, or really see how it feels to not accomplish a goal that you think that you should attain. Mm-hmm. Not only that, it also allows you to see how hard it is. and every moment that you have an opportunity to do something great, if you just rest or think that these 5 minutes or these 20 seconds aren't insignificant, it'll come back to bite you in the behind. And so going through that at times can be painstakingly tough, but sometimes necessary.
And the reason why I bring that up, because I've read Sun Tzu, Art of War many, many times, and the one thing that, you're not only trying to study your enemy, you're trying to study yourself, and that's what they're trying to learn from them, from what they do. Okay.
100%. It's more, in my opinion, and I don't feel like I have all the answers, but in my opinion, when you do it, it's more about yourself than your opponent or what you're facing. It's the mental discipline, the physical discipline that you have to be able to go accomplish the task while being connected at the highest level.
Is there anything that new that stood out to you watching that game back and you kind of chose to highlight in film today?
No, I mean, obviously, like most teams, probably we had some controllables that we did control, mainly defensively. And at the end of the day, it doesn't change that we're a good offensive team. They're a good defensive team. We scored 119 points and shot 47% from the field. 21-3. I mean, I can go down the line. I don't think we shot well from the free throw line, but our turnovers were good and all that. That's enough to win a ball game. To give up 144 points on 50-something% from the field, 30 fast break points, and then 18 second chance points when the team's already shooting 55% from the field. That stinks. That should stink. But a lot of those were controllables. Like your effort, your focus to detail, your want, your communication. Those things are 100% in your control. Making shots, even turning the ball over. There are a handful of things, and most of them are offensive driven. Those aren't 100% in your control. But the things that I just said, which amount to great defensive teams, those are. And when you watch the film, we didn't do a good job in a handful of areas.
Mike,
How do you try to motivate those controllables when so many of those seem to be like come within?
You keep showing it, you keep teaching it, you keep demanding it, and now, are we a little better than last year? We're a little better than last year, but I would hope that that doesn't sit well with anybody, which I think it doesn't. I would hope it doesn't sit well with anybody on the team, because when you strive for greatness, everybody has to want to do it, and I feel like everybody from top to bottom within our group wants to do it.
There seems to be a lot of curiosity about this stretch. I mean, you guys had 5 of 6 coming into last night. You get the Celtics, T-Wolves, top teams in the league in this stretch as well. Yeah. Is there, barometer, yardstick games, does that exist in your world? I know it does in like scouts and even executives, but does that exist in coaching at all to kind of see where you guys are at?
It's funny. If you're just talking about just the top team in the East and top team in the West, I don't know, maybe. Right. But I think if you look at the top 5 or 6 teams in the West, I think we've done a pretty good job. I think it's the middle of the pack teams that we struggled against at times. It's always good to go against, whoever's the top of your conference. Because it usually brings the most out of people. But at the end of the day, it doesn't really mean too much, because you can go win. Like, we can go win last night, and we can get beat by 15 versus a team that we think we should have won by 20. Right. So it does give you confidence and belief short term, but at the end of the day, you have to have some consistency at a high level on both sides of the ball, and in the win column in order for it to pay off down the stretch.
Last night you were saying that, hey, it needs to come from within. I can bargain these guys all they want, but it's going to have to be from the players. You noticed that at practice today, or was it another run-of-the-mill practice today?
No, I thought it was a pretty good practice, and that's gonna be a process too, because guys are with us with this group here. Guys are constantly put in new positions that they haven't been in before, especially when being the hunted, and especially when your head coach is demanding you to be great every time you step on the floor, whether it's in practice or shoot around or a game or whatever. And so the roles that these guys are in ain't just going to happen overnight. They're going to be perfect in them. It's going to take some time, and there's a learning curve to it. And while we're learning, hopefully we're heading in the right direction with the wins too.
Do you think that takes having like a certain personality on your roster? Like De'Aaron's talking about being like a lead by example guy. It's a progress from there, but do you think it takes like a certain personality to talk to your teammates like that?
Yes and no. Tim Duncan is probably one of the quietest leaders I've been around, and even Steph to a certain degree. Now, early in their careers, they weren't. They had some older veterans around them that can help them or guide them down that path, But as time went on, and those guys learned, grew, got a little older, started to win, and know what that's like, experienced hardship and all that other stuff. In their own way, they were vocal leaders. And, when guys like that spoke up, it resonated very loudly, and not just with the players, And did they speak up all the time? No, but they did speak up, and when they did, it was very impactful.
You saw Phoenix recently, and obviously they had some injuries. How do you just kind of view them as an opponent, especially to kick off this weekend for you guys?
Very talented, They obviously haven't had a chance to have all three of their guys play together, but you got two talented Hall of Fame players that have won at the highest level, and a really good coach, and Frank Vogel, his staff's really good, and it's going to be tough for us. There's, I said this before. There's no nights off in the NBA, and which makes the league extremely fun, because you can get beat at any given time, and so to be able to play against a talented team like that, and especially after the loss last night, that's what makes this league special. Is you have a chance to go rectify how you feel right away.
Your record, obviously, fantastic so far. I mean, there's probably games that you still, like you mentioned last night, that wish you had on top of that. But from a rotational standpoint, does this feel like the most, at peace that you've been this season in terms of the production that you're getting and the results?
Yeah, but again, it can change at any time. Guys get opportunities at the end of the game. They get opportunities to be thrown into a game for maybe 20 seconds. And if they take advantage of them the right way, then, who knows what happened. And I go back to that's how a guy like Keon ended up getting into the lineup. He took advantage of it, and, he's been playing well, and we've been playing well ever since.
I wonder.
Anybody stand out to you in those closing minutes last night? The line of Keon that you're talking about?
The guy that always plays hard and tries to play the right way is Kessler, and I always try to find an opportunity to throw him in the game and to see if he can build upon it. But he's a guy that has consistently done it. It just hadn't been as much opportunity for him as I'd like.
Are you part of the Secret Santa thing that they're doing as a team? And if so, have you picked out your present for whoever that is yet?
No, I'm not. That's just for players. It's always an entertaining thing, though.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's entertaining.
What's
players are great at giving gifts, and then our staff is really good at putting the rules on it. I think somebody brought a Bitcoin last year, and the Bitcoin is like, the Bitcoin has shot up. That was probably the only time I wish I was involved in it.
Money.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach.
I'll see you tomorrow.